Are you fully leveraging your most crucial business asset, your own success stories? I can't emphasize how many CEOs I talk to, that overlook the tremendous value right under their noses. I'm talking about case studies. Here at Strategic Pete, we've created case studies for companies across many industries, markets, and business types. Case studies are the single most powerful sales asset you can possibly have, create, organize, use. You don't have to take my word for it. According to the Content Marketing Institute, 73% of the most successful content marketers use case studies. I'll tell you why they're so valuable in just a moment. Something that surprises me every time I talk to CEOs is the resistance they have towards implementing this. They like the idea, but underestimate how effective case studies from your super clients can be. Here are the things that they often struggle with. Approaching clients. Asking for case studies is more than an email. It requires a thoughtful approach that makes clients feel valued. Comfort and confidence. Non-sales leaders often struggle with framing this ask comfortably, an art that goes beyond simple outreach. Understanding value. CEOs often miss the real business impact case studies bring, from trust to bottom line growth. Effort in creation. Crafting angles, writing, and editing take effort, but the payoff in credibility is unmatched. Don't see how it can help with price leverage? This process can help you raise your prices. This is a subtle one and works in two ways. Firstly, case studies let you showcase top results, giving you the confidence to charge more. Secondly, you get to survey your best clients and talk to them about what other problems they need solving. You can ask them what they'd pay for a VIP version of the product that currently solves those issues. I can tell you from experience that this is a cheat code for creating amazing upsells. Today, I'll show you the exact process to overcome all the barriers and get case studies from your best clients, regardless of how big they are. I'll give you the email copy for outreach and a step-by-step breakdown of all of our processes from angle mapping to distribution. I'll show you proof throughout this webinar about the various companies that have used our process to drum up business. We've worked with 2 private equity companies doing this, a B2C travel company that's 2x their revenue, banks, zoos, local businesses, and a VC-backed AI company, and many, many others. In fact, I use this in my own company, Strategic Pete, to generate leads and nurture top-of-funnel prospects to middle and bottom of funnel using the social proof strategies I'll be showing you today. These are the same plans that have gotten me hundreds of reviews from people inside of communities like Dynamite Circle, Rhodium, and Growth Mentor. Real quick, let me tell you why case studies are good for your business. They build trust and credibility. By showcasing real-world examples, case studies prove what you offer isn't just a theory, it's effective in practice. Secondly, there's the power of being memorable and relatable. When potential clients see that others like them, people that look like them, that talk like them, that have the same problem, have succeeded with our services, your solutions become more approachable and real. And because these are real stories, and people love real stories, your potential clients won't forget you. Next up, concrete proof. It's one thing to claim success. It's another to show clear results. Case studies provide that evidence, demonstrating our impact through detailed before and after scenarios. Finally, versatility. Case studies aren't just for one-time use. They can be repurposed across various marketing materials, be it presentations, brochures, your websites, ads, making them a robust tool throughout the sales funnel. They are also great vehicles for word of mouth. Every success story in your business could naturally attract more clients. All you need is to show how you've helped your clients or your customers. Before we dive deeper, let me share a bit about myself. I'm Peter Murphy-Lewis, and my journey has taken me from being a college professor to a CNN correspondent, from launching several successful companies across various sectors and several continents. Sectors like SaaS, software, healthcare, and even hosting a couple popular TV shows. I've been building and growing companies for over 2 decades, and I'm currently a fractional chief marketing officer, CMO. I help CEOs who don't drive the marketing or the growth in their own companies. They plug me and my agency in to scale their businesses. All right, back to case studies. Let's talk about an alternative investment company that I just worked with and how the case study method has worked wonders for them. WebStreet pairs investors with business operators so that they can get passive returns on online business acquisitions. Brilliant business. In other words, they are a micro private equity investment fund. And we use case studies of some of their happiest investors to build trust, drive traffic, and generate high value leads for them. It's played an invaluable role in both direct outreach and inbound funnels, such as webinars. SDRs would send relevant case studies to leads they were reaching out to. For example, a case study of a real estate investor to someone who's in real estate to show the prospect that a company like WebStreet helps people just like them. Well, it works. In inbound funnels, they act as another touch point that nurtures and provides social proof. And we have frequently had leads who seemingly ghosted us, but needed that relatable case study before booking a meeting. We've done this countless times to generate customers for very different businesses, so you can use this no matter what you sell. Before we look at the process, let me address another common misconception. You don't need a large marketing team or deep pockets to make use of what we're going to give you today. From my experience as a CMO for over 20 years, here's some perspective. Your limited budget can be a strength if you use all of your focus on doing the one thing that contributes to 80% of your growth. This is the Pareto principle. Your limited resources mean you don't have to worry about an omni-channel funnel with 20 platforms, different types of content, ads. You can just do one proven, tried and tested strategy, sit back. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into the exact mechanisms you need to do this. We use a Miro board as a starting point to map out angles for case studies for our clients. While there are many frameworks for this, these are some things you need to keep in mind. Map out all of your best clients and all the ways you add value to them. Think about how your product drives results for them. You need to brainstorm all the possible angles in which you can take those use cases and turn them into case studies. You need to take a products and services approach and think about what case studies would best highlight your strengths. It's important to do this groundwork before moving into implementation. Remember that you will be creating multiple case studies from each interview with your client to maximize your energy and the potential of that person's story. Every single case study will highlight different angles that you need in different use cases: ads, SDR, outreach, organic posts, cold email. Now would be a good time to give you a broader overview of the entire process from start to finish. This is the custom flow we designed for WebStreet. In simple terms, we developed this case study engine for them and generated profit-making assets. All of our work so far has been step one, which is about finding the right narrative. It's about identifying success stories that resonate most with your target audience. Think about what story you want to tell all of your potential clients. You have to clearly know your goals from the beginning. If I'm being honest with you, there's a lot of research and experience that goes along with the frameworks to identify the story. You might be able to tell these processes need to be tweaked depending on what kind of clients you serve. If you need help mapping this and designing a case study engine for your company, get in touch. We'd be happy to set you up with our resources during a free consultation. Once we have the story and the clients you will reach out to in mind, the next step, execution. We have a standardized communication process that maintains a professional and consistent tone across all interactions. I'm going to tell you some crucial things that you have to get right, particularly if you're dealing with sensitive clients. Have the right person reach out. The account manager, or whoever has the closest relationship with this client should handle the outreach. Marketing cannot make this ask. We can provide the copy. And share some examples for professionalism. Send a previous case study or some client testimonials to show this process is well established and professional. The person will trust you and more likely accept. And make the scheduling easy. The account manager should gently nudge the client and offer a wide range of availability on the calendar to make scheduling simple. Highlight their value. Be complimentary. Emphasize that they're one of your best customers and that you'd love to showcase their story, and keep it brief. Reassure them that the meeting will be short. I like to do it in less than 15 minutes. And add a personal touch. If possible, send over some swag or some goodies as a thank you. Here's an example of some email copy you can use in the outreach. Feel free to use it yourself. Now, the interview is crucial. It's about getting those nuggets of gold, specific results, and emotional impacts that resonate with your audience. You need to listen and understand the why behind what your interviewees are saying. Now, here are a few tips as you conduct this interview. Be prepared. Have your questions ready and aim to stay on schedule. Respect their time by keeping it to the promised 15 minutes. You want to be in and out. Start with a compliment. A little bit of flattery goes a long ways. Acknowledge their importance and value to your business. And set it up early. Begin the meeting and start the recording before they join to avoid any technical pauses or make them feel seamless. Keep it light. Make them feel comfortable. Relaxed, lighthearted tone. Keep the conversational natural. You better know a little bit about them. Go through the notes in the CRM before you start this call. And offer final approval. Let them know that they'll have the chance to review and sign off on the case study before it's published. We have a standard questionnaire that we tweak depending on the business to get the info we need to craft the perfect case study. If you want us to send that over to you, get in touch. We can even help you adjust it to your needs. Oh, and we'll do that for free. We're so proud of our case study system that we want more people to use it. Let's look at another real-world example before we look at the next step. With Tanganyika, a wildlife park, we used a case study to focus on community engagement and conservation efforts, which helped them increase visitor numbers and local support. The social proof approach to building trust with different segments you want to target is key reason why all of this works. You can dive deep into how we doubled their revenue and 10x their reach on their website. Oh, where were we? Yes, the interviews. After the interviews, we get down to the case study creation. Ideally, we already have the angles and stories mapped out. Now, that's about analyzing the interview transcripts, tones, energetic moments, and so on. And here are the steps. Data collection. We gather data in a systematic manner. We look at key themes that align with strategic goals. For example, if you want to establish trust among, say, startup founders, look for moments that show you've driven results for other founders. Also, you'll need to prioritize what values you want to associate with as a brand. This is a strategic bit of the process. Objective setting. Each case study has clear objectives. We did plan this before, but it's good to reevaluate this once the interview material starts to come in. And crafting the story angle. This is where you put together the compelling story. This is where experience pays. We know how to craft winning headlines and content for case studies that a business ICP would love. We know how to explain the why behind the actions and the results to cement authority and memorability. Now, and most importantly, we know how to get your audience to relate to your client so that they actually care about it. This is an essential element of the case study process. Nowadays, if a potential client feels something is not relevant to them for a second, they will just not engage. They're gone. This process is repeated for every case study, ensuring each one is impactful. Once you've figured out the process, the rest is just having your best customers be the spokesperson for your business, the ambassador for your business. Let me give you a couple more examples of companies where we've done this successfully. Experience Care. This is a healthcare software provider. We leveraged case studies on customer support innovations, leading to a significant uptick in B2B engagements. The sales team loved this. They could use this to nurture, to bring people back in, to have people trust. To give you some context on this particular project, this was a project where a private equity company bought Experience Care for us to turn it around, this software company, rebrand it, and we were able to do this and become thought leaders, partially using case studies, and this company went on to make an 8-figure exit rather quickly. But Peter, all the businesses you talked about are large ones. I'm a small business owner. Can I use this? Absolutely. Let me introduce Kane, a local painting business that enhanced its marketing presence through a case study that highlighted its exceptional customer service and craftsmanship, attracting more high-end residential products. This resulted in us driving 33% more revenue over the course of a year for this client. They were able to grow their business and are now venturing into the commercial space. Talk about growth. Feel free to check out our own case studies on these businesses on our websites. By now, I'm sure that you can see that the system is robust and applicable to almost all industries. Building out this case study system once allows you to replicate it whenever you need a certain type of lead, certain kind of customer. But let me show you the final step using the asset we've built and turning it into cash. We don't want to just create these case studies. We want to make sure that they're seen and felt across all channels where your customers can be searching, can be wanting to understand who can help them. Now, this is an important strategic step and one in which our experience really pays off. We want to reach not only the widest possible audience, but also the most relevant one. Here are a few channels that we consider and often test. SEO, search engine optimization. We optimize your case studies for key search terms that your potential clients are using. This ensures that when someone is looking for solutions you provide, best residential painting company, best wildlife park, best bank for personal loan, best bank for commercial loan, best healthcare software in the state of, means your success stories are front and center. Also, social media campaigns. Platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook are perfect for sharing success stories. We tailor content to each platform to engage different audiences, from short and snappy posts on Twitter to more detailed explorations on LinkedIn. The channels we choose largely depend on where your ideal customer profile is, your ideal customer persona. Email marketing. An email campaign targets your existing database with a series of well-crafted messages about the case study, emphasizing key outcomes and inviting readers to learn more on your website. Guest blogging. Guest blogging to leverage influential industry blogs to share your case studies, reaching an engaged audience already interested in your field. Webinars, podcasts. We use these platforms to discuss case studies in a narrative format. YouTube videos. Visual storytelling through video brings your case studies to life, showcasing potential clients, the real people behind the success. Press releases, distributed to media outlets. These highlight the most dramatic results of your case studies, sparking interest and potential coverage. Now, it takes only a few rounds of testing to find what's optimal for a specific business. But once we have a working machine, it's time to sit back and optimize while the leads start to come in. Now, think about your own success stories. How long will you let your best work remain invisible? If you felt confident that you could do this, when would you start? Immediately? Today? Tomorrow? If we parted ways right now and you had to do this on your own, it would be a worthy goal to pursue. If you were to take everything you learned and apply it to your business, I'm confident that you'll see success. But wait, this isn't your only option. It's the option where we could work together. In fact, we could take this entire process off your shoulders and execute it for your business while you sit back and reap the rewards. See, we've done this countless times for businesses of all kinds in all industries. We have the assets, the expertise to execute upon this a lot faster than it might take you to build everything from scratch, and with a lot more confidence. We could build out the system for you, with you, and create assets that provide dividends for years for you. If this sounds interesting and you'd like to help us create your killer case study, you can book a free strategy session with me and my team by clicking on the link on the screen. We can review your business and give you an initial assessment of what would work for you, thinking about your client and your angles and where we would want to position this. Since we take on very few clients to work with, we usually do this to see if businesses are the right fit for us to work with. Either way, you get personalized insight from me regarding your business. We usually do 1 or 2 of these calls per month, so make sure to book as soon as possible and our team will get in touch. With that being said, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this session and look forward to seeing your business gain the lead generating edge that it deserves. Let's make your success stories work as hard as you do. Thanks for joining.